Hello guys, welcome to Outta City Cop. How are you all doing? I just want to quickly promote the channel if you don't mind. If you're liking the content that's coming out on Outta City Cop at the moment, make sure to hit that subscribe button. Also make sure to hit the like button, guys, would be greatly appreciated. Helps me out massively. And if you want 24/7 up-to-date news and transfer gossip, make sure to go and follow me at Outta City Cop and Twitter. There'll be a link in the description for that. Go click that. Go give us a follow over there, guys. I'm trying to get to 1,000 followers, so every follow, we're getting a follow back until that time. And then when we hit 1,000 followers, I'm going to do a giveaway. So if you want to be involved in that, make sure to give me a follow. Right, anyway, regarding to, obviously, the reason why you're here, through the thumbnail and the title, that Liverpool are potentially interested in an £80 million transfer deal for Jadon Sancho. If you don't know who Jadon Sancho is, he is the winger from Borussia Dortmund, 20 years of age, England international, 20 goals plus this season in all competition. Absolutely phenomenal talent he is. Yeah, so apparently, according to the Independent, Liverpool are interested in bringing... Well, no, sorry, scrap that. According to the Independent, FSG have said to Jurgen Klopp, if you would like Jadon Sancho and as a player that you would like to bring in, then the funds are there to do so. Obviously, Borussia Dortmund are looking for around £80 million for him. This is where I get a hiccup. So basically, if you haven't been following the Timo Werner saga, Liverpool have been heavily interested in him for 2 seasons. You know, it's public knowledge that Liverpool have basically want Timo Werner. And it's boiled down to that we're not going to get him due to the whole corona pandemic and everything. The financial situation that Liverpool are in, it's not feasible to activate his release clause at, what, 50 plus some million. So if you are going on the mindset that we can't afford to pay for Timo Werner and his contract of, what, 200 grand a week and 50 million for the release clause, where's the 80 million funds come for the Jadon Sancho? You know, it's very contradicting. Apparently, this is what the Independent are saying, that FSG have give that, basically, that statement to Jurgen Klopp. If you want him, the money is there. Which, yeah, like I said, it doesn't sit well with me. Jurgen Klopp came out with a statement saying, giving a bit reasons. He was speaking to a German outlet, basically saying the reasons behind Liverpool's financial situation at the minute. Because, to be fair, Dave Maddock did a brilliant interview with Mr. Blood Red, Chris Pajak. I'm pretty sure a lot of you know who he is. He is the second half to the Redmen TV. Great chap. Go follow them, guys. Yeah, great interview they had. And basically, it was saying, like, Liverpool stand to lose anywhere between 100 million and 200 million with this whole crisis that's been going on with the no football, having to give money back to TV rights and whatnot. So, yeah, they stand to lose between 100 and 200 million, which, you know, that ain't a small chunk of change, guys. It really, really isn't. But how can I get my head around this? So I get both sides of it. I really do. I get why fans are so frustrated that we can't get Timo Werner, and because, you know, he's such a perfect fit. 50 million seems a steal for that sort of talent. But with this whole pandemic and what's going on, prices and transfer fees will come down, guys. They're not going to stick to and sustain where they have been for the last 3 or 4 seasons, and people paying 80, 100 odd plus million. You know, it just ain't going to happen because people aren't going to be able to do it. And the fact that clubs are going to need to sell players to be able to sort of stump up some money for the money they've lost due to the pandemic. So it is a tricky situation. So I get where Liverpool are coming from. Like, they don't know what's going to happen. They don't know if they're going to lose 80, 100 million or 150, 200 million. They don't know yet. So you can get why they're being cagey. But on the flip side, I totally understand why the Liverpool fans are hitting the roof. Granted, the whole FSG out saga thing is utter bollocks. Pack that shit in and give your head a wobble. But I understand the frustration because I get that where we're at, because Liverpool haven't been, we haven't been a dominant force for years. You know, obviously Liverpool are on to secure their first league title in 30 years. We have won a few domestic cups in the Champions League within that 30 years, but we haven't hit the heights of where we used to be back in the 70s and the 80s. Whereas we look like we're hitting that again, you feel like while we're in a power of strength, we should add additional talent to the squad. I get that. You know, this is the only... While all these players are very interested in Liverpool and we're playing this fantastic football and everything's going rosy, you feel like, right, this is the time to invest, get these players in. I get that. I really do. But you do have to look at it. It's hard. It's hard to detach your emotions, obviously, from the club that you love. I get all that. It is hard, but for these guys, it is a business, so they do have to have their business mind on. It's all well and good being passionate and this, that, and the other, but if it financially don't work, then it just doesn't work, guys. But you know, so this is where the complication is regarding Jadon Sancho. I don't get how you can go from 50 million, we can't afford it, but if Jurgen Klopp wants Jadon Sancho, then 80 million is there, you can have him. That's where obviously Liverpool are going to be interested in Jadon Sancho. A host of European clubs are going to be interested in Jadon Sancho. That is a given. But it does boil down to, obviously, can we afford it? And like I said, going back to there was a little. Jurgen Klopp had an interview with a German outlet. I'm just going to read you a little quote that he put, because to be fair, he puts it in such a humane way where he's like, I get it, I do get it. So when this whole pandemic started, Liverpool went on to try and furlough staff. There was uproar about that, and rightfully so, they didn't do it. And they scrapped the whole furlough thing and just paid people's wages. Brilliant. But that money's had to come from somewhere. You know, that's come out of their pocket, right? So I get that. But Jurgen Klopp come out with a statement saying, discussing with the players about things like salary waivers, and on the other hand, we go off and buy a player for 50, 60 million. So if you're a player who, say, I earn £150,000, and they go, look, because of all this is going on, do you mind just, you know, knocking 30, 40% off your wage until this all comes back, and then we'll kick it back off? And all the players go, yeah, not a problem, we can do that. So then you do all that, and you've cut these costs, and the players are chipped in to reduce their salaries and whatnot. And then as soon as the transfer window is open, Liverpool go in and go, 60 million, I want to buy that player. You know, you sort of, I get it. I do get it. Like, they can't just go and tell people to cut their wages and then go and splash a load of cash, you know, because it's a piss take. It is a piss take. Because the players are going to go, hang about, mate, if you're going to pay that 60 million, I still want my wages. So, you know, I get that, and I thought how he said that was just absolutely brilliant. And another thing, guys, you know, this whole FSG thing, FSG out and all this bollocks is ridiculous. Absolutely ridiculous. Yes, at the start of when they first came in, obviously their tenure at Liverpool's been 10 years. They came in 2010. At the beginning, the whole transfer committee and all that crap, they made mistakes, but they realised they made mistakes, and then they got Michael Edwards in, they got Jurgen Klopp in, and they started buying the players that Klopp's wanted. Klopp's not a silly man. Klopp wouldn't stand and take the shit. You know, if it wasn't feasible, he would and they explained it to him. He's an intelligent bloke to be able to work out if they're just pulling the wool over their eyes because they just want to try and earn a bit more cash. I don't think that is the case. I do think Liverpool are interested in these players, and I do think it just needs to boil down to, can we afford it? You know, can we get a structure in terms of, you know, relaying the payments out over so many years? Because obviously a lot of transfers are like that. It's very rarely that they go up and they go, there's 80 million straight cash without no payment plan. So, yeah, I do believe that Liverpool are interested in these players, but it's everyone contradicting themselves regarding, you know, if you're not going to pay 50 million for Timo Werner, how on earth are you going to pay 80 million for Jadon Sancho? And I get it. I do get it, you know. So it's just a mad one, guys. This whole pandemic is just come out of nowhere, and it's just thrown a massive curveball into everything. But what we got to appreciate, guys, that Liverpool are going to be going on for their league title, their 19th league title, guys. So, you know, these FSG out saying, you know, they've got to go, and all this rubbish is absolutely nonsense. You know, we've had 2 back-to-back Champions League finals, won one of them, won the Super Cup, won the World Cup. You know, we've had a European final. It's crazy. It's absolutely crazy. They brought in Alisson Becker. They brought in Virgil van Dijk. They're looking like they're going to try and tie them down on long-term contracts. So obviously with this whole bad news with Timo Werner, in Liverpool fashion, they tend to bring out some good news. So make sure to pay attention to that. I can see these signings going ahead because obviously the Timo Werner thing. But just sum up with me, guys. I don't think this is it. I don't think Liverpool are just going to, you know, they're not stupid. And if they're willing to sell Xherdan Shaqiri, Divock Origi, Dejan Lovren, Michael Grujic, and I think there's another player, if Nathaniel Klein going, things like that, Adam Lallana going on, they're going to have to bring players in. So don't panic. Don't listen to these FSG lads out. It is nonsense. Liverpool are doing the right thing as a business, and we need to keep our faith in them, guys. You know, we didn't show faith in them at the beginning, and they proved us wrong. So until they actually, it starts going tits up and you see it on the pitch, that's when you start provoking, like raising your voice. But until then, guys, you just got to stick in them, trust them, because what they've been doing over the last 6-7 years has been fantastic, guys. So yeah, keep an eye on the transfer news. I do think something will happen, but obviously, you know, there's a lot of chitter chatter saying that Liverpool have got no money and due to this. So, but I can't see how we get rid of players and thinning our squad even more without bringing players in. It just doesn't make sense. So there's a lot of around, but I do believe that Liverpool would be interested in Jadon Sancho, and I do think Liverpool are interested in Timo Werner, subject to if he goes to Chelsea or not. But going by what Timo Werner's chairman said, or chief or gaffer or whatever you want to call him, saying that they've had no communication with Chelsea, so it could just be the whole transfer saga, that everything, you know what it's like, guys. It is fucking crazy. But yeah, make sure to keep your eye on all the transfer news, guys, and don't let it bug you as much as it is. You know, Liverpool are in a stable position and they're trying to look to sustain themselves for the foreseeable. You know, a lot of clubs are going to be very much struggling financially, and they will have to sell players, and they won't be selling for the prices that they were selling for. And I think Liverpool are very acute about that and are just biding their time. That's generally what I think that's happening, guys. So obviously let me know what your thoughts are in the comments, guys. Obviously hit a like, hit a subscribe if you like the content. Also follow me on Twitter, guys. Link in the description. Outta City Cult. Peace, enjoy your week, and I'll speak to you guys soon.